we finished something, the instructor always used to say, "Good job," to everyone. So they were fair to everyone, which I liked.
I liked the activities the best, and I was very proud of myself when I went rappelling because I did the activity very well. And when I had done my rappelling, everyone was cheering for me.
There was one parent who asked me that I'm very worried about her long hair, and not even one single day I was, I had to plait her hair. The friends took over and they helped each other.
The instructors gave free-flowing instructions, so it's not like you have to do this, you have to do that. They gave options for everything. Like they gave more free-flowing options than teachers do.
The hope on a program like INME's is that when the child comes into an environment such as the one we create, which is physical, emotional safety primarily, okay, ability to express yourself, ability to try new things, have the enthusiasm to say yes, that I will try this before I say no, right? And then taking from that, showing other facets of a child that a parent or a teacher may not have seen.
I totally rediscovered the entire lot, and the ones whom I was more worried about turned out to be the heroes of the camp. They were helping others and most of them wanted their company.
So the environment has the ability to show you more, show the adult that this child really does have a lot more. It's not just about having fun, it's about engaging the child in a productive act in another way, a way that works for them and not the way that works for the adult.
Those instructors, they let them make decisions. They gave them all the tools, but then you make the decision by yourselves as a group, and they would stand back. We are a little too eager as teachers. We try to give our own opinion, but they would refrain from it. They had that patience to, okay, let them do it, good or bad, let them do the decision. So that is something I noticed and I want to adopt it.
Every human being has the ability, has the need and the ability to exercise power. We take that power away in a closed classroom most of the times. Just the way we sit, the way we say it's a banking approach. I have a jug of knowledge and I shall pour it into your empty glass. Right? INME moves away from that. It sits in a circle. Right? It says that we are all equal and there is a lot we will learn from you. Likewise, you've got to listen to us when it comes to a lot of skill development. So the graded curriculum around life skills looks at moving year by year, all right, and getting the child to a place where they're able to think, all right, they're able to decide and learn on their own.
I'm able to get a fairer idea of where my strengths and weaknesses lie as a person, as well as I think the way that I've interacted with people around me has changed a lot. Like I used to be a bit inhibited when I came here, but I think speaking to the instructors and learning from their experiences and speaking to my friends and seeing what they have to share and collaborating with them to share ideas, I think that's been the biggest thing for me. Like I've become more of a team player than anything through these trips.
Well, there was this one exercise where you had to pair up and one of them would be blindfolded and the other person would guide you verbally on a narrow mountain. Now that was so scary. I didn't think I could do it, and I felt responsible for the other person as well. But you learned how to trust yourself, you learned how to trust others, and you believe in yourself to do something new.
So I had a particularly silly experience which kind of taught me a lesson that respect should be given to everything. And it doesn't always have to be boring. For example, we found a dead millipede and then we buried it and decorated its tomb. And we said final words.
In the city where we had gone, Yerkot, there was also a small village where we were told to interact with many of the residents of that village. We learned many things, and again we realized that we're so lucky to have a huge infrastructure of a school like this, electricity, running water all the time, food. There we learned that there was any water to drink, the electricity was very recurring, it wasn't there half the time, it was there. So we just learned how lucky we are to be having all this that we don't realize over here.
One thing I've learned is patience. I really learned patience, not because as a teacher I learned it from the kids, because I saw children were so patient with me when I went on the trek. I was the slowest member of the group and they never complained. My kids would wait for like 15-20 minutes at every interval so that I could catch up, and that really brought tears to my eyes.
There's a science behind this. There's a combination of outdoor education, adventure therapy, behavioral science, child psychology. There's a whole bunch of fields that are coming together to create success, to create the ability to learn from failure. Right? So having the faith that this thing actually works. When a child says that I can't do it and I will never do this, that is the time when we are actually really excited. Because if everyone comes and does everything and walks away, that's not learning. Learning is when you push yourself outside the comfort zone.
Some of the kids don't actually understand that the amount of time they spend in school, and when they come out and realize that they have to do something in their life, and to do something there are different ways, and when they go into the holistic or different isolated place, that's where they realize their potential.
One thing that will stay with me is the lesson that one of the INME instructors, Pasang sir, taught me. It was on the day that we were climbing our hardest section of the trek, and I really wanted to give up because it was so difficult and I was so sure that I'd just sit there and just not get anywhere. And at that point in time, I was following other people's traces because I was under the impression that this is a safe spot, I won't slip. But he told me, and this is something that I think I'll apply to life, that Niketa, it's not always about taking other people's footsteps. Sometimes in life you make your own path and you get there better.
Here was a group that was not functioning together at all. Right? They had issues amongst their group, they were not talking to each other, it was a girls-boys thing. Within girls group there were issues, within boys group there were. After certain conversations that you have with them, okay, you reframe this activity from being a simple ropes course to actually life. Being able to connect it to challenges that you've got to do together to be able to get across. As long as you have a single focus and a known intent, you start doubting each other and you start working together. They built a target for themselves, which is their own target, which is 4.5 hours. They will take 4.5 hours to successfully do this, because some of the rules were if your feet touch on the ground or you fall out of the circle, everyone has to start again. Right? So they said 4.5 hours is what they will do. 23 minutes is what they took. I've never seen it in my entire 14 years of work. Imagine a teacher being there, witness to this performance. What that leaves an Inventure teacher with is that these kids have the ability, as undoubtedly they have the ability to do this. Now it's just a matter of finding out how. You know, we don't come with a doubt whether they can do this. That doubt is completely removed and off the table. The very fact that you know with guarantee that this group of children can perform something that CEOs have a hard time performing. Right? Which supposedly the people we look up to and say these are smart people and they will take our, this world into a better place. Here's a group of grade 9 children who did it better. Can we sustain that performance in different areas of their lives? What will we imagine what this world is going to look like when these grade 9 kids come to finishing college and start to shape the world?